All right, welcome everyone. I see a lot of new faces today. Welcome to this workshop. I'm Savvy. Some of you may know me, some of you may not, but that's all right. Today, what will we be doing? We'll be working on how to learn how to feminize, masculinize, or androgynize the voice, effectively changing certain behaviors of our body and our voices to better achieve the goal voice that we have, or that we want to achieve, rather, I should say. Please make sure to stay muted during the duration of this workshop. There will be opportunities to come up stage and work on whatever voice you want to perfect. So, without further ado, let me do like a quick presentation of what voice is. So, we base ourselves on the power source filter model. Very simply put, we're going to use the air from our lungs right here. We're going to push it up to our neck where the trachea is, and we're going to then have that sound be produced, the source sound, and that will vibrate in this big space, which we call the vocal tract. And the vocal tract can be really small, or it can be really, really big, and that really changes the whole perception of gender in the voice. The biggest part being filter, okay? We'll be referring to the filter as the resonance. It's the word that everyone has seen online at this point. I also like to use the term vocal tract size, as it refers to, well, the physical part of the voice being, is it like a really big size or is it a really small size? Okay? Both are used interchangeably sometimes, but they pretty much mean the same thing. Now, before we do any voice work, I do need to let you know something. Voice practice shall be done by listening closely to your body. Listen to your body. Does it hurt? Does it feel fatigued? Do not overwork your voice. You're going to end up hurting yourself. That's not something that you want on the long run. And so make sure that you always drink water. Have a bottle of water ready, a big glass of water, whatever you like to have the most. Do try to avoid coffee, alcohol, and generally any caffeinated drinks. So Monster is out of the window. But, I'm not here to police what you should and should not do in your life. So you can do whatever you want, even smoking. But do try to keep the time where you practice your voice out and away, or try to work around these things that can be very drying to the voice, right? As I said before, here you will find the Adam's apple. That's where the source sound is produced. But that's also where your vocal folds are housed. And if they're really dry, then they have to flap against each other really quickly while not being hydrated. That causes a lot of friction, and that can cause long-term damage and, kill your voice really quickly. If you want to be efficient at practicing your voice on the long run, do make sure that you hydrate properly and listen to your voice. Okay? All right, so this is the little point on vocal health. Another thing I should mention is for some of you that take spironolactone or other hormonal replacement treatment, you might want to look into if some of these components or medications can dry your voice, right? I know Spiro is drying to the voice, so be sure to really hydrate if you do take that medicine. There might be other types of medication that I did not list here, so make sure you look things up. Don't stop taking your medications. That's not what I'm saying, but be sure to always drink plenty of water and listen to your body, okay? Another thing is, as I said, dry vocal folds are not good. So if you do a lot of whispery sound like this, right, that will basically kind of dry out the vocal folds. When I speak like I do here, my vocal folds are vibrating in a full pattern, right? So that means that they're fully closing and fully opening. The problem with whispers is that you never really close the vocal folds. They don't vibrate, right? You just hear the air pass through them. And that can be really drying, right? We might have to do some whisper exercises, and that's okay. It's good to explore your resonance, to explore how dark your voice is, or how bright your voice is, right? You can really hear the gender kind of change in your voice when you do those whispers, but don't overdo them, right? Like if you have the opportunity to go voiced, try to go voiced more than you go whispery. Whispers are more a way to explore kind of your limits of your range in terms of resonance or vocal tract size. And you know, eventually you don't want to be speaking only in whispers anyways, right? So use them as an exploration tool, not as the end game tool, okay? All right, so something else I should mention about vocal warm-ups, right? Vocal warm-ups, let's talk about those. If you want to have your voice be working fine with you when you practice making it really masculine or really feminine, you might want to make sure that it's properly warmed up, right? And so to properly warm it up, we're going to use some exercises which we call the vocal function exercises or the softies. It stands for a complex word, semi-occluded vocal tract exercise. All that you need to know is that these exercises basically kind of make it easier for your voice to be produced, right? The same way that like you're not going to go sprinting or do a marathon without stretching your legs. That would be killing your muscles. So the voice is no different in that regard. You want to stretch it, warm it up, kind of like voice yoga, right? And so what we want to do here is do gentle warm-ups. For example, you might want to do some scales. Oh. Maybe higher if it's too difficult to be that low for you. Oh, right? The O sound is one sound where the lips are rounded. So the passageway for the voice is a little bit closed, but there are sounds where the passageway for the voice is even more closed. And this is kind of where you'll see that they might be a little bit more difficult to do, but they are much more relaxing for your voice to produce. Something like a Z sound or a J sound or even a V sound. So you could do you know what? Just for this time, please unmute your mics and let's warm up together. Okay? So let's try and do this together. Take a V sound, start on a low note and go to a high note. Okay, I do first and then you do it, okay? Oh, well, you go for it. Okay, let's try. Very good. You can try also scales like this. Very good. Awesome. So, of course, this is just like a snippet of what the warm-up would be. Just do this until your voice feels nice and warmed up, until like your voice doesn't feel too creaky or too weak. You know, kind of in the morning, your voice can be a little bit tired. So really make sure to drink water in the morning when you first wake up and do some of these sounds. Or zzz, or just an O sound if you struggle with these other sounds. Oh, okay. So that's all I got to say for the warm-up, the health or safety considerations to take for a voice, and kind of like how to warm up your voice. I hope that this has been comprehensive enough. Now, you know, it's a new year, so I had to go for a different avatar. So here we go. That's my new avatar for the year. And we're going to be ready to get started for this session. So I'll take 2 people for feminizing their voices and 2 people for masculinizing their voices. All right. First up, I'll just switch things up. I'll take someone who is interested in masculinizing their voices. Can I see some raised hands for people who want to masculinize their voices? I see Q Angel. Come up stage. Come up stage. Come on. Applause for Q Angel.
How do I get up? Huh?
There is some stairs over there.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. All right. Welcome, Q Angel. How are you doing?
I am doing great. I am a little nervous, but you know, I think like everyone has that.
Yeah, it's perfectly understandable. I totally get it.
The waving emote.
So, let's see. We'll have 10 minutes starting from now, okay? let's go. So you want to masculinize your voice. All right. Have you done any practice before? Have you ever been on stage before? Or
No, this
not
is
at
my
all?
first time. Not at all.
Awesome. Welcome. So, then let's talk about what we need to do. Things to take into consideration, most importantly, is the filter. So we're going to try and change how bright or how dark the voice is, okay? Also, please do make sure not to have your mics unmuted during the session. Thank you. Okay, so what I want you to try and do is I want you to try and hold a whisper. Can you say something like, hello?
Okay, hold. Let me pull off the
Yeah.
suppression
Yes.
thingy.
Also, something that I should make sure. Do you have your noise suppression off and your noise gate really well all the way down? The mic activation threshold, sorry.
I have it mic activation at 6%. I have noise suppression on because I have a fan on, but I can always just turn the fan off real quick if need.
Well, whispers are going to be kind of close to a fan noise, you know?
Okay.
Kind of sounds like a fan noise, but, you know. Oh, wow,
Okay, got
stretchy arm. Okay, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try this out. Can you give me a whispered hello? Like, hello. Hello. Thank you. Now take that ah, make that into an ah sound, like ah. Ah. Awesome. Now we're going to try, just like with pitch, ah, instead with whispers. Ah, 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 ah. Ah,
I think I got it. I don't know. I think it was like
Yeah,
as deep as I can go.
Okay. It's all right. So as you might have heard, it goes darker. You start like, and you went like, oh, which is like much lower. And if you try to compare these two whispers, one definitely sounds more femme, that cat, ashes to ashes, and one, ashes to ashes, that cat, sounds a lot more masculine, a lot more dark. And that's because you've achieved a bigger vocal tract space just by exploring with the whispers. So now let's try and see if we can make that whisper a little bit more reliable to use. I'll just get us some sentences to practice. Okay, so why don't you try again, but this time say the words pat, like in pat that cat. Pat. And let's make that darker. Pat, 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 pat that cat.
Pat, 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 pat that cat.
Nice, awesome. Okay, you see that difference? Pat that cat, pat that cat. So different, right? Night and day. So now we take that whisper and we try to go back into a fully voiced sound. But before we do this, let's make sure that you can achieve a low pitch to kind of match that low resonance. So why don't you go ahead and go from your highest pitch, or your normal pitch, I guess, and go down to the lowest that you can comfortably do. Something like, ah.
Something like that.
Okay, cool. Okay. I'm just gonna check really quick with my pitch monitor what that is. That's like an F3, okay? So F3 can sound, this F3 is just a pitch, right? It's a rate of vibration, a speed of vibration of the vocal folds. And it corresponds to 170 beats per second. Really quick, right? It's crazy. But what's interesting is that you can make that really feminine, like so, and say, hello, how are you? But you can also make it really masculine. Hello, how are you? Right? Just like that. It may sound like a little bit yawny of a quality at first, but we'll have a fix for that as well, right? So now you have reached that low pitch. Can you try and do it again? Or Nice. Okay. On point. Love it. And now let's try this. We're going to try and couple those two things together. The dark pat sound. Pat, 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 pat. And that pitch. But for the filter of the darker vocal tract, of the bigger vocal tract, we're going to have pat that cat. Give it a try.
Okay. That's that
And now try this.
Pat that cat.
Pat that cat.
Okay, so you start. I think you're a bit higher there this time. So you know what? Maybe going from the whispers might be a bit difficult for you. It's okay. There's plenty of ways to practice resonance. Let's try a different thing. Can you go back to that low pitch that you did down there? Okay, and now try this. Okay, cool. So did you hear this? What you just did there is what we call bridging, or at least that's what I call it, but other teachers might. When you do this, you go basically from like a fully normal vibration of the vocal folds to like vocal folds that are more open and don't vibrate, right? So you get this whispery quality. So you just basically did like closed vocal folds, open, and then closed again, more simply put. And so what's interesting here is that if you can go back and forth between these two sounds, you could also do this. See what I mean? It's like you go from the pitch, so you know that you can do that pitch, you go to the whisper, you change the whisper, and then you go back to the pitch with that darker sound. Okay? Let's give it a try. So I'll do it again. Give that a try. Awesome. And now take that whisper and make it darker. Okay. Let's try again from that lower pitch. Just let's start directly on the low pitch. Or yeah. Nice. Make that into an ah. Okay, and now do this. Okay, careful there. You started at a higher pitch. So it's definitely a bit more complicated there. Okay, so here what you want to make sure to do is to kind of like keep one variable stable, right? We're working with many different things. There's not only vocal tract size and the rate of vibration of the vocal folds. We're going to play a lot with like how open or how closed the vocal folds are, namely breathiness or closure. We're going to play with how much airflow we push. And so voice can be quite complicated because there's so many variables to juggle with. And so what you want to be careful with here is to like really keep one constant. It might be difficult if low pitches are difficult for you in the first place, or it might be difficult for different reasons. So what I recommend moving forward that you do is kind of like try and look at like a pitch monitoring software. It will tell you what pitch you are at. And so you can make sure that you always set up at the right pitch, right? Too high, right? So you can try and go, and you're like, okay, that's like a low enough pitch. I can try to masculinize that. Okay, I hit the same pitch. And then go back to a darker sound. There's another way to practice that I want to show to you. Do you know how to like a yawn? Like
a really, really dark yawn.
Like think Patrick Star from SpongeBob.
Hey, SpongeBob.
Yeah?
Okay. Like that?
Yeah, like that. And so when you do that, you get a really
dark whisper, right?
It's pretty much the same thing that we did by sliding from up there. But some people do a yawn that's a bit more voiced, right? So like you might want to try and go for a fully voiced yawn instead of a whispery yawn. So like
and like try to like keep that like sound so I get a really, really dark sound.
Do you want to give that a try?
Okay.
Yeah. Try it again. Anyways, I meant. So I didn't hear all of it, so I'm guessing that it was mostly a whisper, or you cut off, I'm not sure.
I think it was probably a whisper, yeah.
It was probably a whisper, yeah. So you do want to like make sure that it's not a whisper. Obviously, I'm sorry, that's not the answer you're looking for, but what I do recommend is you're like starting off fresh, right? Like you've never done any of this before. Okay, yeah, so it's kind of normal that like you kind of struggle with voice here. I recommend that you, I don't know if do you have like a PC or you have only like a phone? I don't know if you're like on Quest or on PC.
I'm on PC, yes.
Okay, so like you might want to use a software like Audacity, for example. It's free to use. You can download it, and what I recommend you do is like you take small snippets of your voice, small recordings of your voice. Like you'd want to do something like press record, pause, listen back to it, you hear it. Like, okay, that's pretty much what I was trying to go for, and you move on from there. But if you heard something like and then you press play again, you're like, it's not as dark as the one I've done before, so I know I can do better. And so you kind of like get more aware of your voice, and thus you can move on from there. Okay? So what did I say? Practice with the whispers, going darker. You did actually really well with this. I think what you struggle the most with is to couple the lower pitches with the darker sounds. So I recommend that you mostly try to work your voice with a focus on pitch. I also recommend that you get something like a pitch monitoring app. You'll find some apps on the PC like Singing Carrots, not sponsored. If you have an iOS phone, I recommend Nail the Pitch. It's free, not sponsored. And Vocal Pitch Monitor on Android, if that's what you have, not sponsored. So yeah, they will all allow you to just listen and see where your pitch is at. Some of these also have like recording functions, so you can even like make the practice more streamlined. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope that you can practice with all of this, and excited to see what you do next with your voice.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This was really informative.
All right. Well, you're very much welcome. Thank you for coming up stage, Q Angel. Applause. Woohoo! Okay, so now I'll have someone who wants to practice how to feminize their voices. So, who's interested? Okay, I see many people. I've never seen you upstage, Strawberry Maddie. Come on, come upstage. Applause for Strawberry. I'm so bad at names.
Hi.
How may I call you?
Just Maddie is fine.
All right, Maddie. All right, so we're going to get started now. 10 minutes from now. Let's go. So, have you done any practice before? Are you knowledgeable on any of these things? Okay, do tell me. What have you done and what you're looking for?
So I know how to raise my pitch, I believe. And I think I know like the little dog, big dog method to raise your resonance.
Yeah. Big dog, small dog. Uh-huh. Okay. So where do you think you are at in terms of voice goals and where you are, and where do you want to go with it?
See, that's the thing. I don't know where I am.
Okay. So, let me see. So I already hear from right off the bat that your voice is already pretty bright, right? Let's see. I want to hear your voice a little bit more. How about you read some of these sentences? Just go ahead and read like the 3 first sentences.
That mad brat sat on that flat mat. The crowbar opened the subpar car. The store doors creaked more on the 4th floor. The new you is no taboo, you grew, it's true. Snow flamingos eat kilos of tomato risotto. Thus, acting sus, they made a fuss in the bus. Don't dread egg with bread. The squished fish wished for glitch pitch. She saw the serene sea, feeling free. The nerd misheard the bird's slurred words.
All right, great. I honestly just heard a really femme voice. Maybe a lower pitched one in comparison to like, I don't know, really, it kind of depends. It's very subjective where people place a feminine voice, but to my subjective opinion, aren't all opinions subjective? Here you are like doing like that mad brat sat on that flat mat. The crowbar opened the subpar car. The nerd misheard the blurred, slurred words. And to me, that's kind of how it sounds like. And I think you would agree it's pretty feminine, right? Like you got a bright sound and like you got a pitch that's like da 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 da. It's like around F3 down to D3. But pitch is not what really matters in terms of feminization. I mean, to a certain point, it does, right? You don't want to have like
a super low pitch with a really bright voice, otherwise you sound really buzzy, and that's not a sound that most people want to have, right?
So in your case, you're just high enough to be in the fem range, and you're not low enough to give a more androgynous or cartoonish vibe. So to me, there's nothing specifically to work on. If I had to make any comments, is maybe would you feel more comfortable perhaps peaking at higher pitches, or do you feel like you have any voice dysphoria? We can like look at these things.
I feel like I'd be more comfortable with a higher pitch.
Okay, that's something we can work towards too. Okay, so let me see what your range is. How about you go from a low pitch up to high pitch? Something like, oh. Give it a try. So we're like around C4. Okay, so that's already a voice that you could be using. You could like be talking up there as compared to like how you're like talking down there, right? So that's already quite a range that you have, right? So let's try and see if we can do some of that. I have here some intonation sentences. They're like more humane. They're not like the other sentences, which are like more, I guess, academic, if that makes sense. So here, let's see. How about you read just that first sentence? How would you say it normally?
Good morning, how are you? Oh,
Hello,
I
good
forgot the
morning,
phone.
how are you? Yeah. It like didn't sound like a question. Try it again.
Hello, good morning, how are you?
Okay, it's very different here. Hello, good morning, how are you? So, da 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 da. So, hello, good morning, how are you? So you already are at C4. It's very different from the one you've shown me during the other sentences, right? So you're already like intonating more naturally. So perhaps it was just a fluke of, reading like textbook sentences. So honestly, like this is pretty good. I guess we could push it further, perhaps above that C4 range. Let's see.
Okay.
How about you try and match my pitch here? Okay, awesome. And from there, try this. Let's read it monotonously. Hello, good morning. How are you?
Hello, good morning, how are you?
Awesome. And now let's try and break that monotony like this. Hello, good morning. How are you?
Hello, good morning, how are you?
Okay, and now downwards. Hello, good morning. How are you?
Hello, good morning, how are you?
Okay, and now let's try to kind of like go up and down instead of just going up or just going down. Something perhaps like, hello, good morning. How are you?
Hello, good morning, how are you?
Hello, good morning. How are you? Okay, awesome. So this is already a lot more alive than the last one, right? Hello, good morning. How are you? You're going up even higher than C4. You're going like, hello, like up to an F4, which is like way higher than, what you showed me at the very start. So these are pitches that you can be using. I guess I didn't hear the entirety of your range, but you can go as far as F4 pretty naturally from what I've heard. So is that something that you like to hear more about your voice? Something that's more intonated? A bit,
Yeah, I
some might
would.
feel like it's dramatic, but I think like this is just all right. Like you're not saying like, hello, good morning, how are you? I'll have a cup of coffee, please. No one speaks like that. Some do, and respect, right? But Some people might be like, oh, that's too drama, that's too much acting, and I get it, right? It's kind of up to you to find what you like about voice, you know? And yeah. Honestly, what I would say is let's read some of these. I want to see if you can apply that higher range that we found. Give it a try on the
So
next
just start
one.
from the top?
Yeah, you can do
I'll
that.
have a cup of coffee, please.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, I forgot to take my hormones.
Yeah, it's a mood. I get it.
Are you really sure about that? I think I have a craving for pickles. I totally agree with that. No, that can't be right.
Okay.
Blowhaz is my favorite shark.
Okay, blow high is my favorite shark. I really love what you did with I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. So high. So like I totally agree with that. Really high,
I totally
really comfortable.
agree with that.
Yeah, I'd love to hear that. Awesome.
Thank you.
Maybe if I had not a gripe, if I didn't like a sound, if there's like one sound I could like the least, maybe I think I have a craving for pickles. Because you kind of like started up there. I think I have a craving for pickles, and like you went like really down there, which honestly is fine if you start lower, you know? I think I have a craving for pickles. But since you started higher, I think I have a craving for pickles. See what I mean? Like, it kind of seems like it's disconnected. It's kind of like your lower fem voice meets the higher fem voice, but it's like you stay high all the time and then you, boom, you go down. So maybe something that would be like more like I think I have a craving for pickles could work better for you. Or just, I think I have a craving for pickles, right? Just where like stay kind of up there the entire time. I'm kind of like visualizing the pitch here with my hand, if that makes sense. I don't know if it's lagging or not. I hope not. But yeah, like, I feel like with like, I totally agree with that. It's awesome. So right there, what you want to do is probably work on retraining your pitch behavior. I don't think you need to work much on your resonance, if at all. But here, if you feel like you like it better when you kind of intonate in a more feminine way and a less monotonous and just higher pitch overall, then I really recommend that you, just like for the former person on stage, take a look at like a pitch monitoring app, like some of these displayed on the screen. Do you have like an iOS or Android phone? I don't know.
I have
or-
voice tools on my phone.
Okay, so voice tool is good. I know it has like some gendered components, so it might tell you something like, oh, hey, this is like in the fem range, or this is in the mask range. And I kind of half agree with that. Like, it's sure, if you're like below F3, it's more gonna sound androgynous or mask, but like as you can hear with like that voice, it's not really androgynous. It's just like a low femme voice, right? Like it's not like as androgynous as if like if I did like a darker sound, right? Pitch is not everything. But you know what you use it for. What I can tell you about your voice is that it generally kind of averages F3 as a pitch, and it kind of goes down to a D3, okay? It sometimes goes up at C4. But what I heard with our practice right there is that you can actually kind of hang around a B3, which is like two tones to 3 tones higher. Doing it from memory, I'm not super well versed on musical theory, but yeah, like you can reach these ranges. I would recommend that you kind of like record yourself, have like a pitch monitoring app, to help you do this, and yeah, that's all you need to work on.
Thank you.
All right. Well, you're very welcome, Maddie. I hope this has been useful for you. And yeah, best of luck for your practice. All right. Applause for Maddie.
Good job, good job.
All right. Let's go. Oh, this is fine. Let's have someone who wants to masculinize their voices. Who is interested? Luna Timur, you're the first person I see. Come up stage. All right, come up, come up, come up. Applause for Luna. Yeah. Woo.
Yay.
All right, welcome. How should I call you, Timur or Luna?
Timur is fine.
All right. Hello, Timur. We got 10 minutes starting now. So, Timur, let me know. Have you done any voice work prior to this?
I have done research in the past, but I can't say that anything really stuck. I don't really know the big dog, small dog that was talked about prior.
Okay, cool. So what was big dog, small dog referring to is pretty much that kind of sound where big dog, small dog is about doing panting sounds, right? Because dogs kind of pant like, right? So a smaller dog would pant like, a bigger dog would pant like, and so that's kind of where that name came from, because we can quickly refer to like, oh, that's kind of what I expect to hear from a small dog or a big dog, right? So when I say whisper practice, it's pretty much the same thing, right? Instead of using a panting sound, we try to use words that are whispered. It's pretty much the same mechanism. So you probably have seen what you have done with the first masculine voice up here, right? So what I want you to try and do, and you might want to make sure that your I can't find the settings. Your noise suppression is off, and that your mic activation threshold is all the way down to the left, down to 0%.
I'm just
All right.
muting so there's no echo. Sorry.
That's totally fine. I totally get it. All right. So now that you have done this, can you give me a whisper? Say something like, hello.
Hello. Like that.
Okay. Yes, that's perfect. So now, try to take that hello and make it darker, like this. Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, that's really dark. Okay, love it. Can you try this time to say, pat that cat? So we have some other words and we keep just the ah sound. Pat, pat.
Pat. Pat that cat.
Pat.
That cat. Pat that cat.
Nice, very dark. Okay. Now, I want to hear how low you can go comfortably with your pitch. Let's see. How about you try this? Ah. You don't need to go as low, just end and stop where you're comfortable.
It's about right there.
Ooh, okay, pretty low. Okay, I think we're gonna get something nice here. Okay, let's see. That's down to D3. Okay, that's very low. Okay, with that pitch, you can either sound like this, hello, how are you? Or like this,
Hello, how are you?
So it's really good. That means that you can get like a very, very masked sound. Okay, now what we need to do is we take that bigger vocal tract size and we take that that's D3 pitch and we combine them together to get okay? So we can start either with the whisper or with the pitch. Which one do you want to do?
The whisper was a bit harder for me because I crackled a bit, so it might be for pitch.
All right, let's try this. Let's go back to that low pitch. Ah.
Oh.
Okay, and from there, try this. Ah. Awesome. Now let's try to make the whisper darker.
It's hard for me to do.
Okay. Not quite. So what I heard here is the following. Listen closely. So you actually managed to go darker, but as you went back to the full voice, you basically let your resonance go back up, right? So the whisper here tells us some important information. We can hear it. It's just very, very, very quick, right? So try this time to like make the bridge between the whisper and the full voice a bit slower. You'll find that there is a sound in between the whisper and the full voice. Namely, we call this breathiness. When you speak like this, you can hear like there's both air and vibration of my vocal folds happening, right? And so this is kind of where we'll see that we have like a middle ground between the whisper and the full voice. And so instead of this time going from the whisper to the full voice, we're going to have that middle ground so we can listen for the whisper and hear if it goes back up or not. See what I did there? Yeah, give that a try.
I am completely baffled, I'll be honest.
What's so baffling about it?
I you're able to like
It's-
have the
yeah.
whisper and like talk at the same time. Like it was
But
like
most people can do this, and you do too. But you just don't know it. Have you never been like out of breath, like I'm sorry, I'm late, right? Like I know I've been late. I'm not proud of it, but it happened. But yeah, or like a sigh, like I'm sorry. You know, like I don't know. Like there's different ways where you could have a breathy sound happen, or maybe it's late at night and you're like, hey, can you turn the lights off, please? Which would be a weird thing to say late at night, I guess, because the lights would already be off. Or maybe something, if you've not been really good at school, you're like, hey, what's the answer to question B? I don't know, like, don't ruin my grade. Please let me know, okay? That's kind of a lot of situations where you can use the breathy sound. And I think you have used it before. Can you try and give me a breathy sound? Like,
like speaking like this. Well, also
Yes,
having
you just
a
did it.
whisper. Oh, okay. Like
that's it. It's the difference between and right? You can audibly hear it. And I think that now you notice it, but when you came first up on stage, you kind of already have a breathy leaning voice to begin with. So maybe that's why you struggle to identify it. So let's give that another try. All right. So where are we? D3. Wait, I think we went lower than that. Let me check. Yeah, down here. Match my pitch. Okay, now try this. Yes, okay. Now let's take a sentence and try and read this.
That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
Give it a try.
that.
Ooh, nice.
Brat sat on that flat mat.
Yeah, okay, this is interesting. This is how it started.
That mad brat sat on that
Flat mat. So you actually like went back up again, right? So you went from basically a mask voice kind of up to like a low feminine voice. That was super interesting.
That mad brat sat on
That flat mat, right? So that means that you got it right at the start, but it slowly went back up. Not your pitch, but your resonance. Your throat became smaller again. So that depends on how your body responded to testosterone or the lack of thereof testosterone. But you might feel a bump on your neck. That's what people call the Adam's apple. I don't know why they call it the Adam's apple. Everyone has it. It's just that it's more prominent with testosterone exposed individuals, right? And so, that's where my bump is, right? Don't hit it like I did. Only do it if under professional supervision. But that little bump here, do you feel it or not?
Yes, I do.
Nice. Okay, so you might already have you might already have like a bit of testosterone exposure to your voice, maybe or maybe not. I don't know. But what's interesting about this is that you can actually feel and track the size of your vocal tract. If you do like a bright sound, it shoots back up. If you do,
It goes back down, right?
but it's a very, very subtle motion, right? Right? So it's like only a matter of a few centimeters, if even. I don't know how you say it in America. Quarter inches? Not sure.
I can use centimeters. I can actually
Alright,
feel it
awesome.
when I go up and down.
That's awesome. That's perfect. So now that you know this, when you go dark and you do that sound and you go,
Oh, that mad brat sat on that flat mat.
you can feel it stay down. If you struggle to hear it stay down, or if it like slowly goes back up, I recommend you take your hand, best tool in the world, put it on your neck, and don't press down. Just try to feel for the Adam's apple, for the larynx. And if you do this,
Oh, that mad brat sat on that
flat mat, you're gonna feel it shoot back up.
That mad brat sat on that.
That flat mat, right? I felt it move up during that motion. So right now you just have to fight the behavior of going back to your former voice, a voice that is more comfortable with a brighter and higher larynx, a higher Adam's apple. So you can do this sound. Just keep practicing at it, record yourself, as I said, for everyone else. Become more aware of your voice. And honestly, that was really an impressive result.
That mad brat sat.
That was super dark, super mask. So yeah, you did really well, Timur. Good job.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I wish you best for the rest of your practice. Keep it up. And yeah, can't wait to hear what you do next.
Thank you so much.
Woo! Give it up for Timur. So, how much time we got? Okay. I got time for one more person. All right, we'll do voice feminization. There's such a big group here. Oh, I see you're waving. Okay, Angel Heart, come up stage. Yeah. Applause for Angel Heart.
Thank you.
All right. All right there. Do I call you Heart, Angel, or 94?
Angel is good.
All right. Welcome, Angel. So let's get
Thank
started.
you.
We got 10 minutes starting from now. So, love your avatar, by the way. It's super cool. So let's go. What do you know of voice feminization, if anything?
Well, I don't know much, but I just been over here listening, so
All right. So then this is going to show if I did a good job or a poor job. Okay, let's go. It's all on me. So let's see. So you've heard all of us practice what we did with the whispers and all that good stuff, right? Try to give it a try. Take a dark sound. Let's pretend we're Darth Vader.
Pat that cute cat. Luke, you need to pat that cat.
Okay, so make a really dark pat that cat sound.
Ah, pat that cat. Ah, pat that cat.
Awesome, great. And now, for some reason, the cat just goes higher. It just keeps climbing. Its neck elongates. Totally not a reference to something that some of you might know. And so, let's try to make that brighter.
Pat.
Pat, 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 pat. Give it a try.
Pat, 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 pat.
Awesome. And now try and say, ah, pat that cat.
Ah, pat that cat.
Awesome, great. Now try and bridge that to this pitch. Can you match this pitch first?
sorry, went too low.
Very close. Okay, good. And now we take that pat that cat and we do this. Pat that cat. Pat that cat. Give it a try. I think you were muted. perhaps?
Oh, God damn it.
Happens every time. It's okay, it's okay. Let's try it again.
Okay.
Run it back. Okay, so.
Pat that cat.
Awesome! Great! That's it! You just said pat that cat in super fan voice. Pat that cat. So easy, right? I know cats are the friends of voiceonization. I always knew it. Anyhow, let's try and read that sentence up there. Let's try this. That mad brat sat on that flat mat. Give it a try.
That mad brat sat on the flat mat.
Okay, let's go. That's awesome. Okay, so you've done this. That mad rat sat on that flat mat. Okay, let's do it. Let's do one up. Let's go next level. Let's try and change the pitch with that. Let's try and do this. That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
That mad brat sat on the flat mat.
Okay, so that still was flat, like the mat. So let's try and change the pitch. Let's try and climb up. That mad brat sat on that flat mat. Okay?
I'll try, but I don't think it's can go any higher than this, but okay.
We'll see. Don't hurt yourself.
That mad brat sat on the flat mat.
Okay, great. Now you can do that mad brat and that mad brat much higher, right? So let's try and do like a vector between these two. That mad brat, and try and do that mad brat sat on that flat mat. Okay?
That mad brat sat on the flat mat.
Okay, so right there you already started at your highest. I literally want you to like start a bit lower. Match my pitch.
That mad brat sat on the flat mat. Was correct.
Oh, okay, it's okay. Like, let's look away from this. Just look at me for now, okay? So, repeat after me.
Sorry, too low. A little bit higher. Yeah.
Okay. That mad brat.
That mad brat.
Awesome. That mad brat.
That mad brat.
Awesome. That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
Nice. Awesome. There we go. Okay, and let's try this time to go down. That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
So here, we went too low. Okay, so here it's
Yeah.
kind of like where you want to work on the granularity of voice. By granularity, I mean, the granularity of pitch. What I mean is like, right now, it feels like it's big chunks of pitch. That mad brat sat on the flat mat. Right? Not that extreme, of course. But when you did it going up, that mad brat sat on that flat mat, you did it really well, right? I feel like as soon as you turn there, you're like, yes. You kind of forget about pitch, and I can't blame you. You're already focusing on your resonance. So
Yeah.
now, just look at me and listen to the sound. Try this. That mad brat sat on that.
That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
Okay, on that flat mat. It's a bit too far. So here, it's very interesting. You actually are doing better with your resonance than with your pitch, which just goes to show that we don't all have the same challenges with voice. You're doing really well with resonance, but as soon as it comes to pitch, it maybe varies a little bit too much. You don't struggle when it comes to that mad brat sat on that flat mat because it's just a flat pitch, right? You don't have to add too much changes to it. So you really want
Yeah.
to make sure that you try and move in small bits. Instead of doing that mad brat sat on that flat mat, you might want to do that mad brat sat on that. Like, imagine like it's a pitch vector, right? Either it goes like that mad brat sat on a flat mat, or it goes that mad brat sat on that flat mat. Na, na. Like, you can go down slower. If going slower can help you, try it.
That...
Mhm.
Okay. That mad brat mat. Oh, sorry. Forgot the thing. Oh, sorry.
It's okay, it's okay. Okay, let's do it together. Let's do it together. That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
Very good. Okay, and now try this. That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
Very good. And now try this. That mad brat.
That mad brat
Nice. Sat on that flat mat.
sat on that flat mat.
Nice. And now the whole sentence. That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
There you go. Fully intonated, high pitch, higher bright resonance, small vocal tract size, right? That's a fem voice. You have all the components in your hand. Now it's a matter of stabilizing them, becoming more not coherent with them, but like more adjusted to them. And yeah, as I said before, I think your biggest enemy here is your pitch. So I recommend that you really try and do
Unfortunately,
these
yeah.
exercises. That's okay. We can practice on this, right? How often do you talk this high? That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
Well, usually I speak in that tone quite frequently. That's why
Right.
it's kinda my
Yeah.
highest pitch and most comfortable voice because
Right.
like you notice, my pitch shift quite quickly every time and I can't control it.
Yeah. So like right now, like if you're like down there and like your pitch is kind of like around here, like you actually can reach that man rat. Like you can have that voice, right? But it's a matter of like your brain and your voice are like the behavior I know the best is like the one where like talk at a low pitch. So the more time you spend at these higher pitches, the easier it'll be to go for them, and the easier it'll be for you to spend time and modulate your intonation in that regard. Okay? So it's a matter of practice. All right, it was really cool results. You still had a really femme sound there. If you don't trust me, well, there's going to be the recording on YouTube, so you can listen back to it and be like, wow, I did that. No way. And yeah, I can't wait for that moment. So keep it up, keep practicing. And Angel,
Thank you.
I wish you best of luck with your voice practice. You take care.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Applause for Angel.
Great job.
All right, awesome. So we are quite a bit, we are actually on time. So Alistair, do we have any time for questions from Twitch, or do we have any questions on Twitch?
I have just one question online.
Okay, tell me.
So sometimes during exercise, when I try to reach a higher pitch, my voice cuts out. I can't make a clear sound. What could cause it?
So it's hard to say just like this, but like I can say just by not listening to the sound, right? Like it could be something like right? Like where it like breaks to like a different range. Like is that the voice crack that happens, or is it more crack where the voice dies out? Like right? Where it kind of like goes breathy. So you have to look at these different things. Most notably, it's going to be that you might want to practice your pitch range first and foremost before trying to like speak at these higher pitches. Try to go over that break. Do you get a break like when you go up in pitch, or do you get something more smooth like where your voice goes more breathy? In the second case, where your voice goes more breathy or kind of cuts out, it might be because your vocal folds are not properly closing. So I recommend that you try little exercises like glottal taps, like to encourage the closure of the vocal folds to happen. And you can try and do this at higher and higher pitches. Generally, what I recommend is start at your highest comfortable pitch where your voice doesn't break. Try to speak with it. Try to hold it there. Try to hold different sounds up there, and then slowly move up higher and higher in pitch until you meet that point where it breaks. And where it starts to break, I think you should rather like look for when it starts to break. But when it starts to break, try to like do this little tap sound, or another way to do this to encourage closure of the vocal folds would be to do a creaky sound like so, okay? Because the creak is basically encouraging more closure of the vocal folds, okay? So that's pretty much it for the answer that I have. It's a bit like a long answer because I can't tell exactly how your voice cuts off, but generally it's a good idea to encourage more closure of the vocal folds because maybe your voice might be blown out because of too much air that you push, right? That might cause vocal folds to have a more hard time to close. All right. I hope that answers your question. Do we have any other questions, Shay?
Well, we have online. Unless there's some here.
Nope. I don't know if Alistair has already cut the stream or not, but I'll take 2 questions from the public if people have questions. So raise your hands. I see T-Core, you have a question? Yes, T-Core, ask ahead. So like for someone who has like a really monotone voice, like a robot beep boop, like that might be problematic. Okay, so what I would recommend is like we did with Angel here before, with the last one who came here, which is like you take that sentence and you try to like create different vectors. What is monotony? What is a monotonous voice if not a voice where you just speak really like on a single pitch line, right? So we'll kind of hear that there is like different behaviors of voice. Most masculine voices have a tendency to start high and then go lower and go down, right? That's something you want to avoid because it can lead you to really low pitches. Although you can speak like this and like go to low pitches, and like there's like no reason for you not to go to like low pitches. It's maybe like even heard as a more assertive tone, but if you want to like try a more feminine intonation as conventionally and socially understood, you might want something that's a bit more like this, kind of like that moves like a roller coaster. Being within these ranges is not mandatory, right? Here I did the emphasis on ranges and is not mandatory. So like little vectors of moving up and down. So if you struggle with monotony, first try to speak by going up in pitch. Hello, how are you doing today? And the other way around. Hello, how are you doing today? Right? So in such a way, whoop, I didn't see that. So in such a way that basically, you're gonna like fight that like, I guess, normal vector of your voice, right? Like it's kind of like when I say, oh, you're breathing, and you're like, oh, you're right, I am breathing. And so like now you're consciously breathing, right? The same thing is going to happen when you like try and break these pitch ranges. Try to go up, speak by going up, or speak by going down, and then try to like do different vectors. Let's see some practices here. I can do hello, good morning. how are you? Right? Like where you can kind of like start low, go high, and then go low again. Or you can try to put the emphasis pitch-wise on only one word. Hello, good morning, how are you? 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 See? And by practicing these different vectors, you'll get more and more comfortable changing your pitch and intonation, and with time, it gets easier. I recommend that you also record yourself, and eventually, if you have any feminine voices that you like to listen to, podcasts, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, whatever content creator does have these, does have like a feminine voice that you like, you can take like a pitch monitoring app and listen to what they are doing. And you're like, oh, okay, so she moves the pitch like, right? The same way that I'm saying like, hello, how are you? Is actually, right? If I remove the words, you hear the melody a little bit better, right? So you can also try and match other feminine voices' pitch variations or intonations and try and copy them. Okay? I hope that answers your question. All right, you're welcome. Do you have any other questions in the public? I see Cravert. Cravert, what's your question? Mm-hmm. Flageolet. Okay, yeah, I see someone from classical singing background, right? Flageolets, like you feel like you're going so high up that like it sounds fake. Like perhaps, what's your attempt at like a femme voice? Like, would it sound more like, oh, hello, how are you? Or would it sound more like, oh, hello, how are you? Since you said flageolet? Okay. Hello, good morning, how are you? Okay, so it's actually better than I thought. So here, what I'm hearing, hello, good morning, how are you? What I'm hearing is you actually are doing the right pitch variation. You might just be lacking here your resonance. Your vocal tract size might be a little bit too big. So I would definitely recommend that you try and make the vocal tract a little bit smaller. I'll try and find the slide really quickly. Yeah, okay. So basically here, what you experience as being a flageolet sound here is maybe because your vocal tract is a little bit too big, right? Testosterone-affected vocal tracts are a lot bigger and create like a darker sound, whereas smaller testosterone non-affected vocal tracts are going to generally have a more bright sound. And so when you say, hello, good morning, how are you? Well, you might want to like make that space smaller like in this one. Hello, good morning, how are you? So you can try and practice with some of these whispery sounds, like, hello, good morning, how are you? And then bridge into your full voice. Hello, good morning, how are you? And then introduce the melody back as you did before. Hello, good morning, how are you? Right? It's not the pitch that's wrong. Your pitch range wasn't the issue, right? You actually had the same pitch that I do most of the time. You just were lacking that kind of like smaller vocal tract, right? So you can use whispers to explore that. Since I assume, sorry for assuming, I'm guessing that you have had some testosterone exposure to your voice. So I'm guessing like you had some testosterone exposure to your voice. So I'm guessing like your vocal tract was most definitely made bigger because of testosterone. Don't worry.
Me too.
And so what you can do here is try and explore what a small vocal tract is. Your Adam's apple might be a little bump on your neck that can help you track. Just use your hand, Can you feel the bump? Yeah? Make a dark sound.
You can feel the bump go down. Make a bright sound.
And you can feel the bump go up. And if you can keep... Yes. And if you can keep that bump up there. Hello, good morning, how are you? This. There you go. Just as simple as that. If I have to make, like, maybe, like, there's a little comment I would make here. So you kind of made, like, hello, good morning, how are you? Maybe, like, you had, like, a little bit of a buzzy sound, so I'll try to, like, go for, like, something a little bit softer, right? A thing to take into account is that your vocal tract is a certain size, but you put a certain amount and a certain intensity behind the sound, right? If the sound is really intense in a small space, you have a tendency to kind of sound buzzy, and that can be linked to a lot of cartoonish voices. On the other hand, if you like are too soft, then you can also have like an almost like hollow voice. So you don't want it to be too much on one end, which is like too soft, or too much on like the other end, which is like a little bit too thick. And so now you got resonance down. That's very good. You got pitch down as well, but you might be lacking vocal fold mass. So take a look at this graph. Has it loaded for you? Yeah, all right. So as you can see here, this is what your vocal folds kind of look like inside. No, they're not chords, they're not strings. I know, we all make the mistake first. It's okay. But what I want you to look at here is that when you produce a softer sound like then you're engaging less of your vocal fold mass. It's kind of like flexing a muscle. I can carry a very light item and my muscles are flexing only as much as I need to. Or I can carry a really heavy item and like my muscles are like engaging a lot more. And it's kind of like the same thing here with vocal folds. So in your case, that's the difference between hello, good morning, how are you? And hello, good morning, how are you? Okay? So your vocal fold mass became a problem because your space became smaller. Now your vocal folds need to follow the trend to get a softer sound. Okay? All right, that was a very long answer, but I hope it's been helpful. All right, so I have places to be, I'm afraid. But yeah, thank you everyone for coming today. I hope that it has been a useful workshop for you all. So I'll be wrapping it up here. Hey, my name is Savvy. I teach voice feminization.
And I also teach voice masculinization.
I also teach stuff such as human beatboxing with sounds such as... If you want to learn any of this, you can always shoot me a DM in Discord at SavvySav. Same as up here, basically. I also have a Discord server, which is called Scientifically Augmented Voice. See what I did here? SAV, so smart, I know. Not so. I also have a Discord server called Scientifically Augmented Voice, right? And the invite link is here. So discord.gg/smalldbwr so you can join in there. And I do public lessons over there if you want to hear more of my content. Otherwise, I'll be here in 2 weeks if you want to have some more of these workshops. So stay tuned. And if you're interested, also, I do public lessons on my server. So you can listen into them, but you can also book one with me. I also do private lessons if this public setting is too much for you. So do not be afraid. I don't bite, only sometimes. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much for coming here today, and I'll be seeing you in 2 weeks. Y'all take care.